Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about Stray Dogs.
This comic is intense. Don't be fooled by some of the cutesy art, okay? This comic may look like All Dogs Go to Heaven art style, but it is certainly full of intense moments and moments that will just break your heart. The story revolves around Sophie. Sophie is a little dog who has been with her owner for as long as she can remember, which memory plays a very key role in this as well. Sophie finds that she has been brought to this new home and something feels off. Scared, of course, but Rusty is the very first of her companions to actually kind of protect her and take interest in what she has to say. And what she has to say is actually quite interesting. All of her past memories are triggered when this new master puts her scarf on her. And warning, this is going to have a lot of spoilers because it is a review of the comic. So she remembers the murder of her master, and she is intensely horrified after. She's like, we gotta get out of here. He killed my master. Everyone thinks she's crazy, but Rusty actually believes her. The problem with this is that Sophie has short-term memory.
What?
You can see here she says, "What killer? What are you talking about?" So having the scarf near her allows her to kind of recall what her past, master was like. And even Rusty kind of understands this. He's actually a lot smarter than one would expect a stray dog to be. What unravels is that this master is actually a serial killer, and all of these dogs have been taken from their masters, even used to acquire new victims. And as you can see in this man's secret room, there is a ton of women's items. Okay, pretty unusual. Even Sophie questions this. Okay. As we're moving on, there's suspicions. He's got some pretty creepy stuff. He's into taxidermy. But what's surprising is that there's these pictures all over, okay? And they're not just of dogs. Sophie finds that there's actually some pictures of women. The master is actually pretty horrifying. He punishes the dogs. He will take them to this special shack where you could see, I think his name is Victor here. Victor, he says, this afternoon Rusty got punishment. Okay, punishment. That's horrifying to them, as you would expect, but especially when it comes to this guy. Look, Rusty comes out. He's injured. He got, I don't know if it's a broken paw, a sprained paw, but he got hurt. Okay. Sophie reveals that she found a picture, and this picture triggers another dog who's like, I remember her. So all these revelations start happening. Okay, and they're starting to be suspicious, but not everyone's convinced that this is really the case. They're making excuses, but then they find that there's something under the house. And they hide from him because they're like, oh crud, we're not supposed to be here. As you can see, What does that look like? Yeah. They found some graves. So they're hiding, they're horrified. Uh-oh. Pay attention to Victor here. Victor is the most tragic story, I swear. Okay. So they're also punished if they come in and they get all messy or dirty. Sometimes he'll make it so they don't have food. There's definite punishment. Okay, here's another item they find under the house. And he's like, oh wait, that smells familiar. So his house was on fire. Victor was rescued. Okay, but then even there's nobody who's not a victim here. Even this firefighter. Okay, he's like, we gotta go. But Victor has this idea. Let's call 911. I remember doing that in my past. I pressed a button and I got helped. Or someone I knew pressed a button. Looks like there's a person there who was pressing it. But in this case, he presses it. And we find a snitch. We have a dog who snitches on Victor. Why? Because his loyalties lie with his master, because he's known him since he was a puppy. Oh, but the punishment comes, and it's horrifying. See here that Victor isn't being led into the shack. He is being led behind it. And as you look at this innocent little guy, just try to rub up against him. You know something's gonna go down, and it's gonna hurt your heart. That's how I felt. Bang. You know what happened. They know what happened. It's crazy. And there goes the story of Victor. Even moments of adorable cuteness as you see the little pupsters. So there's some doom breaks there, but look, this guy's got pictures of his victims, you know. And as they go around, they're like, we have to get out of here. Sophie accuses him of, you know, snitching, which he did do. He's like, the master always gave me treats he can't be eaten. But reality hits. They're gonna see what happened to Victor. And they're traumatized with what they see. Immediately, Sophie's reaction is to run. And when you go in, I'm going to show you this. Yeah, it was awful. I even feel the tears coming on. The things he did to that poor creature, just hurting him. Okay, and then we have our, you know, betrayer here, peeking around. He still got it in his head that his master's innocent, but he smells something familiar. He goes in the room, and you're gonna see this. You're gonna see this. Okay, he's thinking of memories. Let's see. Okay, watch this. These were the young puppy, or the older dog right now, his comrades, when he grew up, and he finds, when he opens that closet door, them in the room. This is the big turning point in the novel. Well, comic. Earl, that's his name. I had to look back at it. He attacks. And everything's going down. You see that, you know, they're on the run. The guy's got the, you know, shotgun. They're going. We gotta get out of this house. They're like, we can't. There's no way. It's all barred out. But he's like, run. And he right through the window. That was unexpected for me. But, no offense, but there is a freeway. So there, and look, our poor little one here got, you know, she got shot, but she's still alive. She's still kicking. Okay, so they've all got to figure out what to do. How do we get out with the freeway there? And Earl decides, I gotta do this. Like, I gotta do this for everyone. Like, Sophie got kicked. One of the other dogs is wounded. And it ends in some tragedy. Much as it ends in tragedy, it also ends in redemption. The notable sacrifice of Earl and his true love for his comrades were noted in the end. Had he known what would happen to Victor, he never would have done it. I am convinced of that. He, who was in a car accident, approaches and they're like, no, go away, he's gonna get you. But he's actually, this monster guy here, mortally wounded. And the story takes on a happier note. We've got our canine, who they help discover what's under the house. And then, look, our happily adopted puppers. Although not by the same owner. This is interesting. He's like, wait, I feel like I know you. Well, you do, but you guys really have short attention spans, which is interesting. Dogs, they're loyal, they're wonderful creatures here, but in this comic, I feel like it really shows kind of how they live in the present. And it all kind of worked out for them, which was amazing. There's the lingering memories of the past that kind of stay with them. What did I think of this overall? Well, overall, I loved this comic. I read it in one sitting, and I can't wait to read more of the work that Fleeces, Forstner, and Simpson, and Rodriguez, all these great creators. I want more of it. So I'm definitely going to check out. It looks like they have this comic called Feral. Okay, that looks good. It's about these two house cats surviving when they're outside and there's like an outbreak of rabies. And then I may check out this one on the bottom. Looks like it's called Local Man. That one I might just, read on Kindle or something. But this here, this looks good to me. I like these animal stories. And I mean, I never would have guessed the kind of dark tale that is within it. Like, just, I never would have guessed it. Like, I didn't think when I read the first issue that it was going to go down the way it did. Just how much of a monster that man was. So, highly recommend this.